All right, settle down, you future titans of industry. It's your boy Jordan Belfort back in the house. And I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you the brutal, unfiltered truth about why most of you are still struggling, why you're stuck, and why if you don't change, you will die broke. Look, I know what you're thinking. It's the economy, Jordan. It's the government. It's my boss. It's my parents. It's my bad luck. It's the system. Bullshit! That's all a pile of steaming, stinking excuses. Your poverty, your mediocrity, your unfulfilled life, it's not bad luck. It's not external forces. It is a direct product of your habits. It's a slow suicide by 1,000 daily cuts of mediocrity, and you're wielding the knife. But guess what? Today we're taking that knife and we're plunging it into the heart of your self-deception. We're tearing down the lies you tell yourself. We're exposing the core, ugly reasons for your financial stagnation. This will be uncomfortable. It's meant to be, because only by confronting the brutal, unfiltered truth can you begin the real work of building massive, unapologetic wealth. I've identified the core reasons why you're still not rich. These aren't just quirks. They are chains forged in the fires of complacency, holding you hostage in a life you despise. And this video is the bolt cutter. We're not just going to teach you how to break these chains. We're going to teach you how to annihilate them from your operating system with extreme prejudice. This isn't for the faint of heart. This isn't for those who cling to comfort. This is for the hungry, the driven, the uncompromising few who are ready to wage war on their current selves. Your future net worth, your legacy, your very freedom depends on the war you wage on the weak, undisciplined version of you. It's time to choose a side. Are you ready to stop being prey and start building a fortune? Then let's dive in. 1. The death sentence of undefined purpose drifting to disaster. Listen up. The #1 killer of dreams, the silent assassin of potential, is undefined purpose. Most people are like ships without a rudder, tossed by every wave, carried by every current, and driven by the winds of circumstance. Where does that ship end up? You're busy, all right, but you're a speedboat in a hurricane. Fast, but going nowhere fast. No target, no win. A predator knows its prey. It doesn't hunt aimlessly. It has a laser-sharp focus on its target. If you don't know exactly what you want, the world will decide for you. And trust me, the world doesn't have your best interests at heart. Society will hand you a script, offer distractions, and tempt you to stay average. Rhetorical question. Do you think the titans of history, the men who built empires and changed the world, were confused about their mission? No. They had a single burning aim, so clear it dominated their thinking. What's your burning aim? Vague goals, vague results. I want to be successful. I want to make money. What the hell does that even mean? That's not a purpose. That's a wish. A purpose must be exact, measurable, and written. Define the number. Define the date. Define the outcome. Put it in writing. Carry it with you. Memorize it. Breathe it. The cost of drifting. Without purpose, your energy scatters. Your hours are stolen by distraction. Your focus is hijacked by the next shiny thing. You chase a dozen paths and master none. You build halfway and then walk away. This is why years can disappear while you're still figuring it out. Story time, the perpetual starter. I once knew a guy, brilliant mind, sharp as a tack. He had a million ideas, always starting something new. He jumped from one venture to the next, full of excitement for a few days, then on to the next big thing. He was a perpetual starter, full of excitement for a few days, then on to the next big thing. He was busy, all right, but he was like a speedboat in a hurricane, fast, but going nowhere fast. He lacked definite purpose. He'd tell me about his vision, but when I asked for the specifics, the numbers, the plan, crickets, his goals were as fuzzy as a peach. I told him, you're trying to win a war without a map. You're broke in life because you're bankrupt in clarity. He was collecting knowledge like trophies, but his life remained the same. I forced him to define one single burning aim. It took him days locked in a room, but he emerged with a crystal clear purpose. And from that day on, every decision was filtered through that purpose. He stopped being a leaf in the wind and started moving like a builder with orders from within. His business exploded. Not because he was the smartest, but because he was finally focused. 2. The slow suicide of laziness, the comfort zone prison. This is a silent killer, my friends. Laziness. It's not just about lying around, it's the active avoidance of necessary effort, the negotiation with your comfort, the silent agreement to surrender your potential. Most people want the reward, but not the grind. They want the crown, but not the cross. And this is why they never rise. The illusion of freedom. True freedom is built on self-discipline, not on letting your impulses run wild. If you cannot command yourself, your phone will control your mind. Your food will control your health. Laziness will control your time. The world is full of masters waiting to own your focus. Your money, your attention. Your only protection is self-discipline. The pain of growth. Discipline will hurt. It will hurt to say no to easy pleasures, to sacrifice sleep, to grind through fatigue. But pain is the toll for freedom. Suffering is the price for mastery. Weak people run from it. Strong people build empires with it. The compound effect of comfort. Every soft decision is a silent agreement to lose. People want transformation, but they won't say no to one more episode, one more drink, one more day off. And they wonder why nothing changes. Nothing changes because they don't change. Story time. The golden handcuffs. I once knew a guy who was making decent money enough to be comfortable, but he was stuck. Every morning he'd hit snooze, scroll social media for an hour, then rush to work. His evenings were filled with TV and takeout. He wanted more, but his habits screamed average. He was trapped in golden handcuffs, the comfort of his routine slowly choking his potential. I told him your current lifestyle is preventing your future lifestyle. He had to declare war on his lazy self. He started with just 15 minutes of discomfort a day. Waking up earlier, going for a short walk, reading a few pages. He hated it at first, but I reminded him, discipline is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Slowly, painfully, he transformed, not because it got easier, but because he became stronger. He discovered that the pain of discipline was far less than the pain of regret. He chose his heart, and that choice made all the difference. The paralysis of endless preparation, waiting for perfect. This one's insidious because it disguises itself as productivity. Endless preparation. Most people are trapped in tutorial hell. They read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, attend all the seminars, but they never move. They collect knowledge like trophies, but their life remains the same. They are waiting for the perfect time, waiting for more clarity, waiting to feel ready. And while they wait, someone else is out there building, doing, creating. Very ready, you will never feel ready. Readiness is a lie sold to the weak. You don't prepare and then act. You act. And through that action, you become prepared. Courage is born in movement. Confidence is built in motion. Answers are discovered on the path, not before you take the first step. The 5-second rule, your trigger for action. You have 5 seconds to act on an impulse, or it's gone. The longer you wait, the weaker the decision becomes. Every second you hesitate, your mind begins negotiating, creating reasons, excuses, distractions, and delay is death to progress. Done is better than perfect. High achievers move fast, not recklessly, but decisively. They understand that done is better than perfect, that forward is better than flawless. They make a plan and then they move, adjusting along the way. But they don't stall. They don't freeze. They don't let the moment slip. Momentum is a weapon. Story time. The architect of air. I once met an engineer, brilliant guy, had the most detailed blueprints for a revolutionary new aircraft. Every bolt, every wire, every aerodynamic calculation was perfect. He spent years perfecting it, but he never built it. He was always waiting for the perfect moment to get funding, the perfect team, the perfect materials. Meanwhile, less brilliant, less planned out engineers were launching imperfect prototypes, failing, learning, and eventually winning the race. I looked at him, shaking my head. You think opportunity waits for you to feel pretty? You think money knocks on the door of the hesitant? I told him fear doesn't leave. You outgrow it by walking through it. And that only happens through action. He learned more in 1 week of messy execution than in a year of perfect planning. His business became a rocket, not because he was the smartest, but because he was the fastest to pull the trigger. Immediate action is the antidote to analysis paralysis. 4. The attention vampire of distraction, bleeding your potential. In today's world, with more notifications, ample options, and constant overwhelm, most people are bleeding their most valuable resource, attention. They're allowing their focus to be hijacked by 1,000 shiny objects, by irrelevant opinions, by meaningless chatter. This isn't just unproductive, it's a direct assault on your potential. Attention is a finite resource. Your attention is a biologically limited resource, not metaphorically, literally. Every time you get pulled into a meaningless argument, scroll through junk content, or chase external drama, you're spending precious neurochemical fuel. Those reserves are what you need to build something meaningful, to develop a skill, to solve a hard problem, to regulate your emotions under pressure. The siren song of noise. We've been conditioned to think that if something isn't being seen, it isn't valuable. But that's a psychological trap and a physiological misfire. Your brain's dopamine system isn't built to respond to attention. It's built to respond to progress. Prematurely sharing your goals gives your brain a false sense of completion, burning fuel on perception instead of outcomes. Silence as a weapon. The real breakthroughs happen in silence. Not when you're explaining yourself, not when you're proving your worth, but when you're sitting quietly doing the work no one sees. The absence of noise activates the brain's default mode network, enabling deep self-reflection, long-term vision, and identity consolidation. Clarity, direction, and identity are not found in noise. They're built in silence. Story time. The monk and the multitasker. I once had a very promising junior broker. He was smart, quick, but constantly distracted. His phone was glued to his hand. Notifications pinging every minute. He jumped from a high-stakes call to a meaningless email, then to a quick scroll on social media. He felt busy, but he was getting nowhere fast. His mental energy was like a leaky faucet, constantly dripping away. I put him on a strict monk mode protocol: no phone for the first 2 hours of the day, no unnecessary tabs open, no email until after his most important work was done. At first, he genuinely struggled. He felt restless, addicted to the constant stimulation. But after a few days, something shifted. His mind became clearer. His time became more effective. He felt like he was finally back in control. He realized that focus isn't a gift, it's a skill you train. He stopped being a victim of distraction and became a master of his own attention. He became a force, building his future in silence while others drowned in the noise. 5. The shackles of victim mentality, the blame game black hole. This one is perhaps the most lethal because it cripples you from the inside out. Victim mentality. It's the habit of blaming everything and everyone else for your circumstances. The government, the economy, your parents, your past. This mindset is a cage and you're locking yourself in. Blame equals impotence. When you blame external factors, you give away your power. You're saying, I am a slave to circumstance. But life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. The mirror doesn't lie. Jim Rohn used to say, if you don't like the crop, who do you look to? Whoever planted it. And where do you find who planted your crop? In the mirror. You are the one who plants the seeds of your life. Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity. Pressure creates diamonds. Life is about ups and downs. Pressure, insecurities, and challenges. Pressure can create diamonds, or it can bust a pipe. What will you do with the pressure you're under? Will you allow it to bust the pipe, or will you step into the uncomfortable and realize that pressure can be turned into something valuable like a diamond? Story time. The man who chose his hard. I met a man who had faced every setback imaginable. Business collapsed, investments crumbled, personal tragedies. Most would drown in despair, blaming fate, but not him. He was a survivor. He embodied the ultimate truth. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. I remember him telling me, if I'm gonna hurt, if I'm gonna bleed, if I'm gonna cry, let me cry because I'm in the best shape of my life. Let me cry because I'm building my business and my legacy. He chose his heart. He didn't run from the pain. He channeled it. He understood that when you embrace the reality that some things are beyond your control, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. His mind was his greatest asset. No external loss could take that away. He became a master of self, rebuilt everything stronger than before, and became a legend because he refused to be a victim of circumstance. 6. The cancer of complaining and excuses poisoning your future. If laziness is the slow suicide, then complaining and making excuses is the cancer that devours your future. It's the deadliest disease of attitude. Spend 5 minutes complaining, and you have wasted 5 minutes and may have begun what's known as economic cancer of the bone. Surely they will soon haul you off into a financial desert, and they'll let you choke on the dust of your own regret. Excuses are cosmetic. An excuse is nothing but cosmetic. It's makeup, a blanket, a convenience we habitually gravitate to because it makes us feel better. But the underlying issue, the inflammation, is fear. Control your thoughts. Your thoughts are the factory of your future. If you don't control them, they'll control you. Every limitation you feel, every pattern you repeat, every failure you accept was first born in the mind before it ever became real. You cannot live a powerful life with a weak mind. The laws of the universe. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. If you don't like the crop, you look in the mirror. If you spend your time sowing complaints, excuses, and negativity, that's exactly what your harvest will be. A unforgiving timer. Life is too short to make excuses. The clock doesn't pause, the world doesn't wait, and neither should you. Story time, the man who stopped whining. I remember seeing a guy once, always the loudest in the room, always complaining. His boss was unfair, the market was rigged, his colleagues were lazy. He had a million reasons why he wasn't where he wanted to be. He was sincere, hardworking even, but his consistent whining was a repellent to success. I once told him, echoing Mr. Schoen's wisdom, the major problem is lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth, not lack of money. And your constant complaining prevents any good ideas from taking root. He was poisoning his own mental factory with negative ingredients. One day I challenged him. Stop complaining for just 1 week. No matter what happens, no complaints, no excuses. He thought it was impossible, but he committed. And within that week, he was forced to think accurately. Instead of complaining, he started analyzing problems. Instead of blaming, he started looking for solutions. His energy shifted, his presence changed. And for the first time in years, he started attracting opportunities instead of repelling them. He learned that complaining is a luxury the truly successful cannot afford. 7. The trap of external validation. The path to emptiness. This is a modern plague, silently draining your energy and hijacking your potential, chasing external validation, the need to be seen, recognized, or praised by others. You're spending your energy projecting outward, scrolling, comparing, explaining, defending. But this isn't how your brain actually works. Dopamine from progress, not applause. Your brain doesn't care about your goals. It cares about what you do repeatedly. Dopamine, the molecule for drive and motivation, doesn't spike when someone compliments you. It spikes when you make measurable progress toward a goal. You're not wired for applause. You're wired for evolution. The psychological cost of seeking approval. When you seek external validation, you're tapping into a reward system that's fleeting, unreliable, and largely out of your control. It drains your energy. It diminishes your focus. You're telling your brain that the outcome is tied to how others perceive your actions rather than how you experience your progress. Actions speak louder than words to your brain. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control, only responds to what you consistently act on. If you keep saying you're focused, driven, or disciplined, but your actions don't reflect that, your brain detects the mismatch. This creates internal dissonance, mental fatigue, and even reduced motivation. The brain only codes for what's real. Embrace being misunderstood. If you are truly evolving, you will confuse the people who are not. And that's okay. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them doubt. You don't need to defend your process. You need to trust it. Real power doesn't make noise. Lions don't roar when they hunt. Story time. The invisible builder. I once had a very talented client building an incredible new product, but he was obsessed with publicizing every tiny step. He'd spend hours crafting social media posts, announcing his progress, seeking likes and comments, and every time he got a burst of external validation, He'd feel good, but the actual building would slow down. His dopamine system was getting hijacked. He was getting his reward from expression, not execution. I told him, stop announcing every damn move. Your reward system has to shift. You need to get dopamine from execution, not expression. I made him work in silence. No public updates for 60 days. Just pure, focused building. He hated it. At first, the withdrawal from constant validation was brutal. But as he stacked quiet win after quiet win, his brain started rewarding him for the actual work. The satisfaction became internal, profound. By the time he unveiled his product, it was a masterpiece. And the world noticed, not because he advertised it every day, but because the quality of the output spoke for itself. He became an invisible builder, and his silence was his ultimate weapon. The core problem: lack of ruthless personal accountability. All these habits, all these excuses boil down to one fundamental flaw: a lack of ruthless personal accountability. You're not rich because you haven't held yourself to the standard required for wealth. You are the reason income does not far exceed personal development. If somebody hands you $1 million, best you become a millionaire quickly so you get to keep the money. Otherwise, sure enough, it'll disappear. Incredible success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. Instead of going after it, you work on yourself. The major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting. The major question to ask is what are you becoming? Choice, not chance. Life is not going to change. The tide comes in, it goes out, it gets light, it turns dark. Opportunity is mixed with difficulty. It isn't going to change. The only way it gets better for you is when you get better. You don't have to like the setup, but it is important to learn how it is. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. The law of use. Whatever you don't use, you lose. Lack of use causes loss. A talent unused is lost. An ability unused is lost. So take a new inventory of yourself. Make sure that all of your talent and ability and mentality and ingenuity and vitality and strong feelings and faith and courage are being used. Otherwise, you lose. The law of sowing and reaping: whatever you sow, you shall reap, and you always reap much more than what you sow. If you sow bad, you reap bad much more. If you sow good, you reap good much more. If you don't sow, you don't even have a chance. Some people spend enough TV time to make a fortune. The path to unapologetic wealth. Your counterattack. Now that you know the enemies, here's how you kill them with extreme prejudice and build the wealth you deserve. Morning domination, the first hour. This is your strategic advantage. Wake up before the world starts demanding your attention. Make that first hour sacred. No phone, no emails, no news. Use it for you, plan your day, visualize your goals, exercise, read something that builds your mind. If you win the first hour, you win the day. If you win enough days, you win your life. The time-blocked fortress. Your focus is under attack. Create impregnable time blocks for your most important work. Use a timer 45 to 90 minutes. Eliminate all distractions. Put your phone in another room. Close unnecessary tabs. Tell everyone you are unavailable. This trains your focus like a muscle. The no command: learn to say no with conviction. Most people fail because they say yes to too many things that don't matter. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to your goals, your health, your future. Your time is treasure. Protect it. If it doesn't grow you, it doesn't get your hour. The daily review Slavis. Don't just live your days. Harvest them. At the end of your focused work, take 5 nights, 10 minutes to review. What did you learn? What did you accomplish? What will you do better tomorrow? This creates clarity, refinement, and momentum. Jim Rohn taught that a life worth living is a life worth recording. Relentless self-education. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Dedicate time every single day to learning, not passively, but actively. Read books, listen to mentors, study success. The more you learn, the more you earn. Embrace discomfort as your ally. Stop running from pain. It's the price for mastery. When it gets hard, when it's boring, when you want to quit, that's the moment of true transformation. Your nervous system is primed for change. When it's under strain, push through and you hardwire resilience. Choose your hard. Everything in life comes with hardship. Make a decision. At some juncture, you will encounter pain. If you don't go to the gym, it's gonna hurt you. If you do go to the gym, it's gonna hurt you. Choose reward or regret. Pain is inevitable, unavoidable. Pick your pain. Building unapologetic wealth, the predator's path. Entrepreneurship, modern survival. Your psyche is wired to hunt. You aren't meant to be a monkey in a cubicle. Entrepreneurship is how you channel your interests, skills, and expertise to impact others at scale. Sensible people get paid for doing what they enjoy doing. You need to create and have full control over the lifestyle you wish to live. Business is how you get there. Focus on better, not just bigger. Better leads to growth. Bigger leads to blow. Elon Musk aims to be an order of magnitude better than existing solutions. If your thing is amazing, customers will demand you get bigger. Don't just grow for growth's sake. Relentlessly focus on getting better at the core promise you make to customers. Talent is leverage. Your best talent you haven't even hired yet. The level of a business grows like a Christmas tree. With the number and intelligence of brains that goes up, the outsized return on intelligence is so high that it's one of the fundamental arbitrages that exists in business. Pay more for top talent, they will make you exponentially more than they cost. Compounding, the eighth wonder. Compounding is when something multiplies unto itself. The longer you do it, the better it gets. Equity is one of the single greatest compounding vehicles. Boring is what makes you rich. The money isn't made in the buy or the sell. It's made in the wait. Patience means figuring out what to do in the meantime while you allow your master plan to come to fruition. Your future self is counting on you. Your daily decisions, your habits, your programming, all of it. Blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. The people you've had to let go, the sleep you've had to lose, the hours on end of studying, feeding on your craft every single day. It's not easy, but it's worth it. If you keep going, your future self will thank you. You've heard the brutal truth. You've been given the blueprint. You know the reasons why you're still not rich. And now you know how to annihilate them from your life. This isn't just about money. It's about claiming your destiny. Your poverty is a product of your habits. Your wealth is a product of your decisions. You get what you earn. You get what you build. Now the easy part is over. The talking, the listening, the dreaming. The hard part begins now. The doing, where you choose comfort, mediocrity, and the slow suicide of bad habits. Or where you choose discipline, relentless action, and the brutal grind that forges titans. Remember what Jim Rohn said. Life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. And that change begins today. Right here, right now. Your future self is counting on you. Your legacy depends on it. So, choose your hard. Go out there and make it happen. Attack your day with the ferocity of a predator. Lock in on your purpose. Execute without hesitation. Grind in silence. And let your undeniable success be the only noise that matters. The clock is ticking. Your future net worth depends on the war you wage on your current self. It's time to choose a side. Go get it.